This is what we are celebrating today. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am the host. We are telling the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today is Friday. It is TGIF, and in a moment I will have our service hero here to join us. I want to, in the time that we are waiting, I want to address a few things that have been taking place. I am thrilled that recently I have been out there. I needed to get out there. I don't know about many of you. However, I have needed to get up and move a little bit more. I have been getting up and going live, walking. Well, many others are doing the same. I am being inspired by them. They are being service heroes. They are going live. They are saying that they are out. They are doing something. They're pushing themselves. They're actually looking now forward and moving forward. So I wanted to recognize the many people that have been doing that, many leaders within our organization. Melissa, good to have you here today. Happy Friday to you also. We will have our service hero in a moment. She actually is having a few problems. It's been interesting the last couple of days when it comes to technology. I want to recognize that I do see some people that are joining us that possibly haven't mentioned anything yet. However, welcome to the Service Heroes Show. I do want to also let everyone know that we have been getting nominations of service heroes. So we have quite a few service heroes that are scheduled for the next couple of weeks. I'm very excited about them. In fact, tomorrow we will be having one that actually has done a lot for Chemo Buddies for Life in the past and is serving his community and is looking to serve his community even that much more. Rodney Clements. He will be our service hero tomorrow. Very excited to tell his story. We have many, many more scheduled in the next couple of weeks. I also want to invite those that have someone that they feel should be nominated for a service hero. Let me tell you what I'm looking for. The type of stories that we want to be telling. Those are stories. Right now, there are so many people, and this is why I'm actually dating the shows. I used to number them. I am dating them. I'm dating them because right now we are in a period of time. We are in history in the making. Someday, history books will look back on this time and say, wow, look at what was going on. And there are heroes, service heroes, that are stepping up to the plate and are making a difference. And I know that you have joined me, Mistie. However, I still am not seeing you. I don't either. I'm thinking that possibly we may need you to use your phone. Is that a possibility? Okay. Okay. All right. I need some help here, guys. I have brought Mistie up on the line, and I have actually my phone going too. So I'm going to see if there is a delay, and I'm going to see if by chance we do see you once the delay has caught up. I'm looking. I want to recognize that Helene Wilson, that you're here. I'm glad you're with us, my dear. And happy Friday, TGIF. Let's see. Nope, I'm not seeing you on my phone either.
I wonder what the heck. Okay, I will go on my phone. I'm just not sure.
Okay. All right, I'm going to take you down from the line right now, and we will have Mistie here in a moment. Christopher Kaysen. I am so glad. Yeah, I saw a blue box too. At least We know the service heroes colors, right? Blue and gold. Loving them. Barbara Beckley, you will be joining us today to celebrate our service hero, Mistie Layne. I am so excited to be sharing her story. I hear her. Now I'm looking to see where she may be on the line. I am not seeing you. I have no idea what is going on. Oh, there you are. Okay. She is coming up now. Yay.
You see me now?
I can see you now. We
All I
can.
did was go to my settings and change the resolution. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay.
Well, whatever you did, the magic took place, and I'm thrilled to have that happen. Hello, Skip. Good to have you with us. And I love it when everybody starts visiting with each other. I was just sharing as we were waiting that right now I am it's so encouraged for a variety of different reasons. Number one, I've been getting up and moving. It feels so good. Getting up and walking. I'm feeling really energized and stronger for it. Others are doing the same thing, and I'm really excited about that. Then we've been having a lot of people nominated as service heroes recently. And so I've been scheduling them out. I was encouraging for people to start thinking about who they would like to have nominated as a service hero. You can nominate yourself. That is okay. If you are doing something you feel is making a difference right now in today's world, I'd love to hear about it. We'd like to feature you and have that inspiring story told, just like we're going to talk about Mistie. So welcome, Mistie Layne. You are definitely doing so much. Let me introduce this woman that I am so proud to know and call a friend. Also, the vice president of the nonprofit that I am the president and co-founder of, Chemo Buddies for Life. We believe in healing through connections within a buddies network. We'll talk about that. Also, you are a woman that has a story that is impacting so many people's lives. You've told the story in a book. Now there's so much more to your story, and you're now out there sharing those pieces of it. And recently I know that you were sharing some of your life over the last year. It's been a very interesting road that you've been on for a while now, and it just continues to be. I mean, it's like, oh my goodness, okay, where is that? Are you anywhere close to it? It's like, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. Where's Mistie? It's like lately, crazy, crazy. So you've been on the front lines, and another thing, and I want to thank you, and that's one of the reasons I really wanted you back right now, is because you have been serving in our community, the Chemo Buddies for Life closed group, and every Wednesday for a while now, we've had What's Up Wednesday, and you have been the one coming and educating our buddies. And I am so, it almost to a point of tears, so not overwhelmed, but so grateful that our community is doing so well through this. And a lot of it, I give you credit, a lot of it is them coming together and communicating and keeping their heads and being informed and being aware and making good choices and encouraging each other to do that. So I want to say thank you for that, Mistie.
My honor. Thank you so much.
So let's get to it. Now, first of all, we've got a lot of people showing up. We've got Christopher Kaysen, of course. We've got Melissa Stump. We've got Sherry McQueen, one of our Chemo Buddy for Life senior ambassadors. We have Helene Wilson, one of the ambassador of the chat, the first ambassador of the chat here. Of course, Skip, we already mentioned. He is one of our board members that serves alongside us. We have let's see, so many others that are sharing and showing up. We have Rachel Johnson that has just joined us. We have Jack Cohen here with us, Mikey's dad, and so many more. So I want to welcome everybody to the show. You have been a busy lady lately.
Yeah. Yes. I stay busy. I don't know what it's like not to be busy.
And I have to say that it's amazing how our bodies sometimes make it and so that we have to sometimes slow down. And you had a bit of a slowdown just recently, didn't you?
I sure did. I had my gallbladder taken out a week ago, about 9 days ago, actually, because I had developed a large gallstone. I've had it for a few years, but in the last 6 to 8 months, it's really been causing problems with reflux and nausea. And the gallbladder functioned and worked just fine. So I've been arguing with the surgeons for about 3 years because I wouldn't let them take it out of me. Then I realized through one of my recent new physicians that I'm on board with made me understand how toxicity, even though it's not such an up and front problem, it's an underlying problem. And that toxicity was causing me issues I didn't even realize I was having, and it needed to come out. So I agreed to it, and it got canceled and postponed one time because I was quarantined because of an exposure to COVID. And then I finally got it out 9 days ago. So I feel good. I feel better.
Well, good. So
Yeah.
so you're feeling better and you're looking great. Can I just say, you really every day it just seems like, because you have a show and that you now are a couple times a week. You're featuring amazing stories also, and you've decided to go forward with that. And you had you you had your son take one of the shows when you needed that done, and then you took, I believe, one day off, all of one day, and then it was like, okay, or did you even take a day off?
The day of my surgery, I was actually in the other room listening as my son hosted the show, and he did an amazing job. I'm so proud of him. The show is Dare to Share with Mistie Layne on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 Central. He did a great job, but I did listen just from right in the other room. And then on Thursday, that was on Tuesday, and on Thursday, I was right back at it again. Because it's where my heart is, Tamara. I just feel like, my whole platform is based around transparency. I believe it's necessary in the world. I think it's a game changer in the world. And I believe through other people's stories is how we become educated and aware. And through that, my intention and my goal in life is to judge less and mentor more. So I didn't want to skip a day. I didn't want to take a day off because that person's story needed to reach somebody that day.
Uh-huh. And so what days again are your shows, and where can they find them?
So it is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central. And it streams live from e360tv.com, but it broadcasts straight on to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Instagram TV, Apple, Android, Periscope. It's on my YouTube channel, and it also broadcasts live to my Facebook page and my business page as well.
Okay, so basically you can find it nearly anywhere.
Nearly anywhere, yes. If you're on Roku or Amazon Fire, you just have to download the E360 TV app, and then it shows up right there. And there's like 1,800 viewers every week just on Amazon Fire TV, which I don't see that. So I don't even know that those viewers, because I don't have a way to see that. I just get that information from the producer. Mm-hmm. But it's a pretty good platform, and the message is getting out, and that's what it's about. It's about people becoming educated and aware.
Excellent. And so thank you for telling those stories. We need more people telling stories, and you're not afraid to hit some of the tough subjects. And recently I've seen you going live and hitting some of them with Vicky Omofalaji, that you did one here, and then you did another one, a couple of them that have been really, not for the weak in the stomach.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And being real talk.
And it's really amazing. The first thing, Vicky reached out and we did a talk together on rape and rape crisis, and how COVID-19 has really affected those rape crisis centers. And, people don't think about those types of things because, if you haven't been raped, you don't think about that, right? But those things are important. They're necessary. They're essential, but they're not being deemed essential. So those resources and those crisis centers have been dwindled down. And so we just wanted to bring awareness out to the community of what was going on with that. So the first one we did was over rape. And I have gotten so many people reach out to me over that because she's in Australia, so and we're 15 hours apart, but we broadcasted, and then we've just gotten so many people from different. I have people in London, two females in London that have reached out to me personally from that have started watching the show and that are just so interested. And we've actually talked about starting a book, a collaboration book, a compilation book about rape. So if you've been raped and you want to write a little short story about your experience with your name, without your name, anonymously, however you want to do it. We're putting together a book of rape stories just to educate people and just I think more about awareness, so people don't realize. It's kind of funny because I'm 52 years old, and when I was raised way back in the day in junior high, we were being taught as females that if we were ever to be raped, never to scream rape because people weren't going to come help us. We were taught to scream fire because if we're being raped and we scream fire, people are going to come to help. If you scream rape, people don't want to be involved in that. And that's just sad. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So we did that talk, and then recently we did another one because that one went over pretty well. So we did another one on grief, because I just recently lost my grandbaby in January. She was 4, and Vicki recently lost her mom. And so we talked about grief and all the different processes and all the different tools on how to get yourself and work through the grieving process and thank you, Tara, and gain closure and different things around grief. So those are separate things than my show, but my show does touch on certain, different topics. It's called Dare to Share for a reason. I dare people to come on and share those secrets that they've been too ashamed or afraid to share with people in the past. And it's all about educating. Once we realize it's not about us anymore, and we realize it's about the message, then we don't feel the shame. We don't have the fear associated with telling our story. At least for me, that's how it worked. As long as I thought it was about me, I was too scared to tell people because I didn't want to own up to the dirt I had done in the past. But once I learned that I'm through it, I'm better, I'm safe now, it's about the people that are still in it that need to hear the message. It's not about me. Then none of that mattered anymore because that message became way more important.
And so let's go there. You were on the show, and it was one of the very first times I ever really visited with you. You were Service Hero number 179 way back in the day, and we had an opportunity to visit about your book. You had been referred to me and nominated as a service hero. And then we visited, and that was after the show that we realized that we had so many things in common because of your day job. And I had no idea as we were live. And I knew of you because we were both at that time had started running for the Impactor. And I was so intrigued. I'll never forget when I was doing my research and you were out in the rain and you had an umbrella and you did a live and you were talking about impacting and I thought, oh, I love her already. There's just something about it. You were in duck shoes and you had, and it was like, and it just everything about it. There was this energy that was like, okay, no matter what, I'm showing up. It's raining, but I'm here, right? And I loved it. And so had you on the show, we talked about this, but it's been a while, and let's recap that because your story is, well, let's just share that there are some that have read your book that haven't read a lot of books. They've read yours and they can't put it down.
Mikey,
right?
Yes.
Mikey is one of them. Yeah, our dear friend. Yeah, I was thinking about him. Yeah.
It's a pretty easy read. It's a quick read, but it's a hard read in the fact that it's completely honest. I don't sugarcoat. For those of you that don't know, my story is that I'd gone from medical school to prison. I killed somebody in a car accident behind a horrific cocaine addiction that I had for 10 years. And my life completely changed. It just completely devastated me. And it's all about the journey coming back from that. But sorry, I still can't say that out loud without tearing up. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's just hard to even still comprehend it, that it happened, that I was even that person, because I'm so far from that person today. But
Oh, so far, so
yeah,
far. You're such, and let me just say how much this woman gives. And I know her very well. Here's a picture of the four of us when we were there in, it just seems like it was so long ago, and yet it wasn't. And the four of us, as we were running, had just decided to run for the impactor, and we've been through a lot in a short period of time, but a lot. And Misty is one that is always there to serve, and that's why she doesn't get much sleep, guys. She is serving at work, she's serving outside of work, and so this story is, when I read it, well, I was there the day that you got your books,
yes,
and
that was
you
it. That was that trip, wasn't it? And that was at a
yes,
city summit, city gala in
yeah,
San
yeah,
Diego.
yeah. So you did the live, you and about the books, and it took a while for you to come out with this story. So you were telling that you had the addiction, there was the car accident, you had to go to jail, and this is the journey, this is the story of that experience in that period of time and coming out of it, and what you learned and what you're able to share with others now.
Well, it's really more so the story of while I was in the addiction. It does
Yeah.
briefly talk at the end about some of that other, but because the book was actually written while I was in jail awaiting a 40-year prison sentence. So I thought my life was ended. I thought I was done for. I was at literally my last breath, my last chance at life, and I had to release this pain. And so writing was my outlet, and it saved my life. That writing that book actually saved Misty. It saved me because I was such a lost person from domestic abuse. I was stripped of my own identity. From the drugs, I was stripped of responsibility. I was of even reality. I mean, at that point, I was so out of it. And so this saved me. This brought me back. It grounded me. And when I first wrote it, Tamara, it was written. Put it this way: it was so horrible. It was such a emotional vomit, if you will, of anger and blame, and everybody did this to me. Type of book that my own parents couldn't even stand it. They thought it was just trash because there was no accountability in it at all. It was just, you did this to me, and this person cheated on me, and it made me do this, and you made me do. It's just where I was at the time in the space when I wrote it. So I sat on that book after I got a 5-year sentence instead of a 40-year sentence. Extremely blessed. I did 2.5 years in prison. Came out, rebuilt my life, and it wasn't until my grandbaby was born with a disability. Well, a lot of disability. She had a brain injury, blind and deaf, the whole thing. That made me realize that I was still letting my past rob me of my future, because I thought when she was born it was my fault, that her disabilities, her brain injury during the birth, coming through the birth canal, was my fault because of my past, because she was born on the same day, September 18th, that I had killed someone in the wreck behind the cocaine on September 18th. So it made me realize how I was letting my past rob me of my future, rob me of making a connection with this beautiful grandchild that I couldn't connect with because I felt so much guilt. And so I went back and revisited, decided I was going to come forward with my story, and I rewrote the book. And instead of it being dark with a lot of blame and anger, Tamara, I rewrote it from a place of accountability and forgiveness. And it changed everything for me. It changed everything. It gave the book a whole nother perspective and tone. I included at the end of every chapter how to's, lessons. This is the lessons we learned. This is how you apply it in your life. And just went all out and said, I'm either going to do it or I'm not. And I put my big girl panties on, and I swallowed my pride, and I just pulled every ounce of courage I could find. And I said, I'm doing it. I don't care who I lose along the way. If they want to judge me because of my past, then that's probably somebody I don't need in my life anyway. And I did it. And then that year that I launched it is the year that I learned that it really wasn't even about me anymore. So all that me holding on to it and not releasing it because I was afraid of how people were going to react was ridiculous, because the story's not for them anyway. It's for the people that need to hear it. And those people are never going to judge someone being honest or transparent. So that's kind of how it came about. And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
And those that have read it are passionate about it too, because and you're right, you know, and the way you have it laid out, it really is a story. It is your story, and how you were here and then you went there, and what you lost and then you did, and some, you know, and the people involved in your life. And I have to say, you were very respectful in the way, and you were the verbiage in there with the different, you know, without giving too much away, but the verbiage in there, you always treated someone with respect or with some value,
Yeah,
that they offered or currently offer, or and you're speaking to us, you're helping us to understand the story and how you got to that point.
it's funny you say that, because I know exactly what you're referring to. I can give a great example. My first husband, my daughters, Lauren and Amber, it's their dad, Eric. I told him, you know, I said, "Are you going to read the book?" And he said, "Well, yeah, everybody's got their own perspective. You see how life went one way, I see how it went another." I said, "But, you know, there's a lot of," because he had given me permission to say what I wanted. So I did, you know, and I said, "Okay, but I ask you, Eric, when you read the book, that when you start a paragraph and you hear something derogatory about something that you did that impacted my life, that you read the whole paragraph, because at the end, I promise you, I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to take accountability for part of it that I was responsible for. And I'm also going to put the positives of the things you've done, because, you know, he hurt me. He broke my heart. He cheated on me, had an affair, had a woman pregnant. I had no idea these things were going on. And then later in life, there were other things too. But at the end of the day, looking back, when I rewrote the book, what I did see was, yeah, he might not have been the best husband. He might have hurt me. It, you know, broke our marriage apart, whatever. But at the end of the day, when I went to prison and I was on drugs, he's an alcoholic, he drinks, you know, but he kept our girls safe. He stepped up, he raised them, he took them in, he kept them safe, he kept them from running the roads, he was strict on them, he gave them structure. You know, nobody's perfect, and so I had to be thankful for the things he had. And so that's the whole point of the book, is to show people that no matter how bad something is, there's a silver lining in it. No matter what it is in your life that you're going through, there's something good there. And you have to find that and focus your energy on that and not the bad. So, yeah, even my abuser, there's some poetry I included at the end that I wrote while I was incarcerated. One of them was all about my abuser. And I actually thank him at the end for beating me up and stripping me down, because he made me so strong and so tough. He changed me. And that's the name of the promise. He changed me. And he did. First it was, you changed me. You stripped me down. You made me timid. You made me shy. You made me not have a voice. But then as time grew, he changed me into this strong woman that knows that no matter what, nobody can defeat me ever again in life. That I'm solely responsible for my own, and that nobody can take that from me. So I thank him for changing me. So, yeah.
And that is right there such a wonderful lesson of how, when you are faced with trauma, when you have met such huge issues in your life, and many of the buddies that are within our program, Chemo Buddies for Life, many people that are affected by cancer, it is said now, they are in agreement that it can be that they had things happen and they were unresolved. They possibly, we let things that took place become bigger. And so then our body, not everyone, I'm not saying everyone, but in some cases. And so for us to be able to say, okay, this was hard. Look at what Mistie went through. And she's written a poem. She is thanking that person. She is finding a way to go on, and not in a bitter, angry way, but letting it go and then saying, look at who I am now. Look at my strength. Thank you, because now I am a stronger person for it. I can get through this. I can get through what I need to get through. And that right there is such a healing process. And
Yeah.
you talk about cope in your book. You
Yeah.
talk about how we can get through so many things, and there's actionable steps that you share. And I have gotten to know you really well, and I can say this, guys, this is a woman that, yes, she's very driven, she'll get things done. You want her in your court. You want this woman to be a champion for you, because she is truly a champion. And that's a big thing. It really is. So I want to say thank you for being so real with us today. And you continue to be real with all of our buddies. I have some screenshots of some of what we've been sharing. That we have had guests. We've had pictures where you actually come and you've been talking about what's been happening in the day job in today's environment. There is so much press. There's so much this. There's so much that. There's this opinion. There's that opinion. However, you're on the front lines, and you also do a tremendous amount of digging into credible sources about what it is that you are witnessing with the pandemic and with COVID, and having a community that we both love so very much, of Chemo Buddies for Life, those that are one way or another affected by cancer. And now we're opening our doors to those that are feeling isolated and alone, to ease the suffering of that for those that have been affected by the pandemic. You're helping us to stay on top of it and focused. What are you seeing out there right now?
Well, it saddens me that our country is so divided right now. It breaks my heart, and I don't want to get into any kind of political debate, because that's
No,
not at all what I'm about.
no,
But I am a
me either.
healthcare worker, and I do see it. Can we address real quick, because Melissa's asking something about my book on there. Can you just, Tamara, can you
Sure. Yeah,
site for
sure.
everyone? Just put mistielayne.com so she knows she can go there for a signed
Okay.
copy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can't, but Sherry, can you please put into the comments mistielayne.com
For a signed copy, and
for a
Amazon or
sign?
any bookstores just to get it. But if you want a signed copy, it's better off my website. Okay,
Okay.
sorry. So anyway, no, I just my whole thing, and I've said from the beginning, even within our community, Tamara, is, are there forces behind this? Probably so. Is there political hand in it? Almost certain there is. But regardless of where it came from, how it happened, who's responsible, the biggest picture of it all, and for this front and center, is that it's real. It's here.
Right.
It is
Right.
a
Right.
real thing. And people are dying. They're dying.
That's
It's not the flu. It is not the flu. People
right.
are dying from COVID-19. I had my surgery 9 days ago. And just for just one tiny example, I live in a small little rural country kind of town, not real country, but kind of country, in Southeast Texas. And there are 3 hospitals in this area that we compete with in this little generalized area. It is, when the day I left for surgery, we had 14 positive COVID patients in our hospital, the hospital where I'm full time. As of yesterday, we had 37, and half of those are on ventilators, because Texas is spiked up. People went crazy Memorial Day. The young people weren't heeding the warnings, and it's just spreading. But and then, my own sister in California is one of these. She just takes everything that she's the most knowledgeable person I know, very smart, educated on every subject. But in my opinion, she takes it that one step too far. She thinks it's all political. It's a hoax. It's a scam, blah, blah, blah. But I try to tell her, come to work with me if you don't believe it. Now those people just have the flu. No, it's not. It's not people just having your everyday heart attack or kidney failure. They're going into kidney failure because of the COVID-19. They're having a heart attack because of it. It's not one or the other. In medicine, it all contributes, right? So what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of non-belief out there, and the numbers are partly responsible for the people, for the spread of it, because they're not heeding the warnings. Is it the way of life we want for the future? Absolutely not. And like I said, there probably is hidden agendas, public agendas, political agendas behind all of it. I do believe that's true. But regardless, as a healthcare worker right now, we have to take care of the people that are dying from it.
Right, right. And that's why, and thank you for putting it this way too, because I really wanted it to be understood in this way. This is the way we have gone after it in What's Up Wednesday. We made a decision that we needed to be on top of it from the very beginning. We talked about it, you and I, and said, okay, let's every week, let's go ahead, let's get some pertinent information out. This is to get us through, healing through this period of time. It doesn't matter any of that other, because when you have people that already are immunocompromised, that they are possibly going through treatment, they are being diagnosed, they've just had surgery, whatever it may be, that they're in long-term care, whatever their situation is, it doesn't matter the agenda. It doesn't matter the political thought. It doesn't matter the headlines. None of that matters. It is a life or death situation for those people. And if we can keep their heads and give them real good information of the solid science or what is medically happening, then they can then choose. And so you were teaching us about things like, okay, have your food delivered, and having it delivered and putting it in a basket, and having, simple things like this that
not to Lysol your mask.
Not to Lysol, yeah, what do and not to do. Right, exactly. And how you may have learned firsthand on some of it, and what works. We were going over styles of masks and where to touch a mask and how, what to look for. These are things that make a difference today for the people that need them today. And all that other stuff, that is stuff other people can talk about. It's not what our focus is. And that's why I wanted to recognize what it is that you've been doing. When you have worked 18 hours, 20 hours, you've been on call, you've been here and you've been there. And I know you've been, as they say, that tired to the bone. And yet you're doing the research. You're sending me over the information beforehand. You're getting it into
minute. Yeah. At the last minute.
It's okay, though. You get it to me in time. It's there. I have some people that send it to me when we're already live. You don't do that. You get it to me before we go on. And I appreciate that. And yes, Melissa is saying it right here. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. That is what I am saying to you, Mistie, is thank you. Thank you for being on the front lines. Thank you for caring like you do, because we need that today. We need people to rise above sometimes we can have strong opinions about things.
Our own agendas.
Exactly. Our own agenda, and look at the bigger picture to a community that I am so proud. I am so proud of our community.
Yeah, me too. Done well. Because, just to go back on some of the things you touched on, Tamara, is not so much, this pandemic has affected not even so much people that are currently in treatment, but, people that may have cancer and don't know it, because the PET CT scans, we're not doing the work for outpatient like we were before. So you may have people that have cancer, haven't been diagnosed yet, and their scan's been put off 3 months now. I mean,
yeah.
It's such a bigger thing to look at. It affects people's care. If they're in the middle of treatments, maybe their treatments have been further apart now because of COVID and social distancing. It's affected everything. But the way I look at it, and I try to explain this to people that are non-believers, I call them, is, if wearing a mask is going to keep you and the people around you healthy or not, if you don't believe it is, what is it going to hurt you to wear it? It's not like we're
Right.
asking you to take some huge dose of a pill and say that's what you have to do. It's a mask. What is it going to hurt? If you're around someone that's immunocompromised, just put it on. Whether you believe it's real or not, put it on, because it could make a difference in their life. Because what if it is real and you didn't do your part? Seriously. So
Right.
wear the dadgum mask. Wash your freaking hands. That's stuff you should do anyway, right?
Right. Right. Well, and I will say, for those that are watching and that are not a part of our group and have not been there for these classes or in chats, or those that have been and maybe they want to revisit them, everything from, I had never thought about the fact that I needed to wash up on my wrists when washing my hands,
Yes.
and in between our fingers, and the things that you have taught us, right, that you have taught us in just really good overall general health care for ourselves, and going forward beyond one particular disease. Let's just say those that, like, I remember having to live in my room, and we talked about this the other day. I had to stay I was not allowed out of my room within my own home, because other people in the house that were affected by pneumonia, and they were keeping me in my room. Well, in that, had I even learned some of these things, and had we had some of those general things that you've been teaching us implemented in my home, that might have looked different. It might have been different, or it would have been just like a confirmation. Yeah, we're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is just really good common sense. And so I just want to say thank you for all of that, because it is something that I know you put a lot of time and effort in. It's something that we are dedicated to, and I'm proud. I'm so proud of what we've been doing. Okay, I hope you're not going to mind. You sent over, I'm going to kind of give you a little heads up. And if you tell me no, I won't do it. But you sent me over a picture that you thought, oh, we both need to laugh as a possible.
I don't care.
Yeah, we have.
Tamara had wanted, she sent me the show promo for this, and she had my profile picture from Facebook where I'm like, and I said, Tamara, I've got a better picture than that. Let me send you a better picture. So I sent her that. I know we just both needed a laugh right now.
I thought, oh, that's perfect. I know there'll be the perfect moment to bring this up. And I love it. I love it. And purple Chemo Buddies masks. Oh, yeah, there you go, with our Chemo Buddies logo. Searching for a new mask. And we talked about those. And
the right one.
Yeah. So, thank you for having some good humor on that one. So, I know that you have been doing some virtual summits and such things. What's next for you right now?
Right now, I'm actually just got off of an hour-long meeting. I am getting ready. I'm designing an online course. I'm going to be launching my first online course, hopefully in about 8 weeks. It's going to be, the first one's going to be based around my Cope Equals Hope four-step method. And then that's going to move on to something much bigger and much more intense. It's all geared around using writing. And then my Right to Ignite Women's Empowerment retreats are going to gear back up as soon as the social distancing allows it. Because I have 3.5 day intensive weekend retreats for women that are just super planned out for building bonds, ugly crying around a campfire kind of bonding, and just learning how to use writing just to find our inner self and be the best person we can be, and to let go of all the trash in our life and let go of all the the stuff that we've been letting define us in the past. And there's going to be nutrition involved, energy work. I'm going to do before and after photos, this art therapy, because I know when I was in intensive outpatient therapy, a 30-day program for cocaine addiction, the first thing we did is we had someone come in and they gave us a blank canvas and they said, okay, create something. Well, mine was just, oh, I wished I had them to show you right now, and I don't have them handy, but it was just every inch, every speck on that canvas was covered with something. It was the most intense color laden, like heavy colors, dark, just chaos, just pure chaos. And at the end of the 30 days, and we would do these exercises throughout every week, at the end of the 30 days, my final painting was so light and it was less cluttered, and you could see spaces of actual canvas where inch wasn't taken up. And it just made me realize that our expression, our emotions come out through our arts, through our expression, our writing, our singing, our talents, our dancing, our art, everything, all of it comes out. So I'm real intent on having that part of my retreat, Right to Ignite, is going to also include art therapy as well. And so we're going to have those before and after photos just to see how your face, the stress can come off. You can see it just in 3 days time. I think anything shorter than 3 days, you don't give it the time to really see. But I think after 3.5 days of that kind of work, you're going to see a difference in your face, and those photos are going to prove it. So I'm really, really, really excited. I think out of everything that I've done or wanted to do to point, that those women's retreats are going to be where the most work is going to be done for the most people, because it is going to be so intense and intimate that there's no way someone's going to walk out of there not feeling like a better person. I know that's where some good stuff's going to happen.
Oh, I have no doubt. No doubt at all. And it sounds amazing. Like, yes, very therapeutic, very, anybody that's been through life, let's just say, could use something like this. And it is only going to be, you're only going to do women. Are you going to ever have a men's retreat?
Probably so, because oddly enough, it's really odd, because I really thought my market was for women, and that's who needed my message and that's who wanted my message. But after starting, I'm on my 17th episode already of Dare to Share with Mistie Layne, and looking at the statistics, that I have an actual higher viewership of people that play through the video, the 1 hour interview, are men. So, yeah. And they're like 45 to 65. So there's a lot of men out there that I guess are really interested too in like take domestic abuse. I have a lot of passion speaking about that, because it was very devastating for me. And I guess, we put a stigma on it and say, it's mostly women, but I mean, women abuse men too. It's out there. It's just not, it happens. So in my mind, I'm thinking, why would guys want to hear about how other guys beat up women? But they do want to hear it, because you have to think about, especially this age group, 45 to 65, a lot of them are on second marriages, they're coming out of a marriage. So who are they going to be dating? They're going to be dating women that have most likely been through some kind of trauma like that. So they're searching that insight to try to put themselves in their shoes and understand what have they been through. And it makes perfect sense. And I think everybody should always have that insight into each other, so that we can be a little bit more empathetic towards each other and know what's going on and understand why we feel the way we feel. Maybe some of our insecurities, why they're there, and the best way to handle it, instead of, pointing a finger and judging, but to be understanding and compassionate about it and help instead of judge.
Right. Yeah, I love that. Yes. And it makes complete sense, and thank you guys. Thank you for having that interest, for investing in learning and in hearing and in opening up yourselves to finding out why. And that is huge. That is something that all of us need to say thank you to all of you that are doing that, because it's going to make our world a better place we can understand where someone else is coming from. And like you said, without judgment,
It,
without judgment.
it's hard because, and staying transparent, I've admitted this before, before my grandbaby was born, I had never really had anyone with a disability immediately close to me before. I mean, I'm a healthcare worker, but we do our part and they move on. It's not like we live with them or take care of them 24/7. So I was very uneducated about it. And I was that person, and I've admitted it. I'd pull into the Walmart parking lot, and in my mind, I'd be thinking, really, guys, we need 22 handicapped parking spaces, really 22 of them? Can we get a spot? But after going through it with Eliana and realizing you have no idea what it's like, just if you have to have tampons and you have to go get them and you're in charge of someone disabled, what what it entails just to get them out of the vehicle and get them in the store, make it through the store without some major medical crisis and back in the car again. And so, it made me understand the need for those things. Without judgment, because now I don't get upset. I understand because I'm educated, I'm aware. So my whole thing, my whole platform is about bringing stories to light with transparency so that we can all become educated and aware. You know, I used to look at women that had black eyes and I would not judge them outrightly, but in honesty to myself, in the back of my mind, I would say, she's so stupid. Don't she know that's not love? All she's got to do is leave them. How dumb is she? You know, until it happened to me. And I now understand the manipulation and the hold and how they play on every insecurity and how hard it is to get out of that situation. It's not as easy as just walking out the door. I walked out the door many times. He hunted me down. He came across the country and found me every time. I mean, it's not so easy to just walk out. So, but unless we're taught that through other people's stories and we learn it and we're aware of it, it's real easy for us to point our fingers and judge people. So, that's
True.
really my whole passion in life, is just educating people on different things, through our stories.
Well, thank you for that. I'm going to actually give you a moment in time right now where I'm going to drop myself down from the line. I'm going to let you have front and center stage for a moment to say, a nugget, something that you're feeling inspired to share, something for a few seconds, and then I'll bring myself back up, and then we'll close out the show. Okay?
Okay, sure. Well, what I would like to share, and those of you that have known me, Chris, one of my impactor buddies, he's been right alongside with me through all of this, but Christopher Kaysen, but you know, there's a movement on my Facebook page. It's a group called hashtag Be That One. And it's all about encouraging others to step up and share their stories, just to share their stories authentically with people so that we can use, like I was just saying, education, to bring awareness to each other so that we can judge less and mentor more. But it means so much more than that, guys. I try to apply hashtag Be That One in everything I do. Um, just about stepping up and being a better person in life in general, just being better, trying to slow down and take other people into consideration, being kind, being compassionate, being thoughtful, just closing my mouth because I'm a talker, closing my mouth sometimes when I recognize that somebody else needs to talk to me and I just need to be silent and listen. Giving them that chance to vent when they need to. It's just about being a better person, just stepping up to be that one. And that's really what I ask from anyone listening, to share this out. To you ask the people in your life to step up and be that one, and show them by leading the example, holding the door open for someone, offering to carry a heavy bag for someone up the stairs, little bitty things that don't cost us a single penny, that we just fly through life and don't do, that we can do to create a little bit more harmony, a little bit more love and kindness with each other. So that's what I encourage from all of us, is just to please, love your neighbor, love thy neighbor, and also to remember to look in the mirror and love yourself as well. That's it.
Beautiful. We call that a service hero around here. That is exactly what that is, and I love it. You are an example, truly, of be that one and what a service hero is all about, because we all have that service hero inside. I want to thank you for allowing us to give you a highlight, a spotlight, and honor you as the service hero that you are today on this special TGIF Friday on July the 24th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. And yes, Misty Layne, we have definitely determined today that you are truly a service hero. You are out there making a difference. You have been also recognized as an impactor, a global impactor. You are someone that has a show that is highlighting others that are showcasing that they are making a difference. They're showing through their transparency that they can open up about some tough subjects, and in doing so, maybe inspire someone else to do the same. And in doing that, we can then start seeing that we are so much more like than many believe. We can then step up and make a difference in our society and in our world, thus truly being the global impactor that you are, Misty Layne. You are today's service hero, and I want to thank you for everything you do to serve our community and all of you out there. She is serving too, and serving well. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for your show and all
Yeah.
that you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And speaking of shows, it's not a show, it's a chat. However, we do it every day in the Chemo Buddies for Life closed group at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Tonight, it's TGIF, and what happens is that some of the buddies, they come on. They come on either by voice or actually on camera so that our community can get to know each other. We have two coming on right now. Two are scheduled. Maybe even more will come on too. So if you are one of the buddies, join us. And if you haven't yet joined the community, then do so. We have two requirements. What takes place there stays there, and it is a safe place. We share humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a lot of love. We are helping those people affected by cancer, and now those that are feeling isolated and alone due to the pandemic. So come, be a part of a community that cares. We'll see you there tonight. All right, see you soon. Thank you for everything, Misty.
Thank you. Love you all. Bye bye.
Bye.